How is everybody? I can come out here and I can talk about numbers and the way they all connect. I can show you designs and tell you that the group Wings sang a song about Venus and Mars. How about Venus and Mars being the wings? I can ask you about the gingerbread man, but there's a code about red man inside of here. I can tell you about Jane, Janet, Jack, Joe, and John when Jan was E.T., but here she was just E. I can tell you that when you freeze it's cold, but when it's hot you put on the sunscreen, right? But 2 minutes ago my screen froze. Does your screen freeze? Two E's for an O? One freeze, one froze. Your screen froze, my screen is freezing. I can tell you about the block. I can tell you about the cube, and I can tell you that Allah, 1331 Allah, DC. I can tell you a lot of things about numbers and relationships about everything in this world, but right now they're worried. I want to read you this page where they're worried what Trump is going to show up at the summit. What Trump is going to show up at the summit. What Trump. NATO has been preparing for its July summit meeting for a year now, but there is only one wild card, President Trump. Nobody knows which president will show up. The truculent one rallying about the inadequate military spending by the allies of the boastful one taking the credit for recent spending increases. Either way, NATO members say they fear that all the preparation and the desire to show solidarity in the face of the new Russian threat will be overshadowed, if not undone, by a divisive encounter followed by Mr. Trump's prospective summit meeting with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Anyways, before I go on with this, the only thing I really want to talk about, let me take off that terrible autofocus. Just let me move the light just a bit up, and I'm going to expand the screen. There's too many lights here. Okay, so what I want to talk about right now is it's just sick. It's a sick world out there. When are we going to just get on board? And when we're on board, like if I had 1 trillion viewers right now and I was on board, I would be speaking to people and preparing on what we need to do to eliminate and understand what's going on with the nuclear weapons, what's going on with the new security weapons that they're going to now put in space. They're always saying someone's going to attack, Russia's going to attack, and France is going to attack. I bet you, if I walk up to 85% of the people and I said, would you rather be in war and think of attacking, or would you rather not? I guarantee you, 99 of the 80% of the people will say, no, I don't believe and I don't want to attack anybody. But they put it into our heads, I have to protect myself from you, and you have to protect yourself from me. The agenda. If you knew the reality of this planet Earth, how do people come and they're born and, oh, how is he born? And he can just play the piano just like that. How is the DNA passed on from one to the next? Because we're not from this planet. The body is born here. Beam me up, Scotty. But I can't beam you up with that body. But I can beam up your soul. But I don't need to beam it up. Because you've never left. We're communicating in another network, an alter network. The same way Avatar moved from one body to the next body. Same way. Now, I can believe it, you can believe it, and you can say, cock and gornished. Cock and gornished, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to protect myself, I put on a helmet. I'm gonna protect myself if I fall down. I almost got hit by 2 cars, just came from a bike ride, almost got hit by 2 cars and a scooter. All 3 didn't stop. On the scooter was a girl. Don't want to blame it on her. But anyways, no one wants war. No one wants fighting and no one wants danger. But we create bombs all day long. In fact, all the overspending of the money, creating bombs, trillions of dollars. But they say, well, if we don't have jobs, all that money we paid for bombs, all the extra money we paid to science to create these bombs and all these jobs, all this money went into debt. We're still in that debt. If we just eliminated taking what was in the earth and paid all these people off $20,000, $30,000 a year, we'd be in less of a debt and everybody would have money. And we wouldn't have these bombs. We'd just make more gardeners, I guess. More gardeners. We teach people how to be friendly, how to understand the differences. An argument is an uncompromised discussion between two or more. It starts off with one. I'm indecisive and undecided. I believe the voting system should be done online, and I've done this before. You can go online banking. Well, vote, pass through the banking system and into the ballot box. Vote again and again. We can use, like I said, Twitter, Facebook, and all these things. They can't manipulate all of them at the end, and then we take an average from all of them. How can they manipulate all of them, right? Encrypted voting. It would be highly unlikely. How about voting through Bitcoin, ant mining? There's so many ways to vote. Just like the court system, do you really have to show up in court? Things have to change. Things need to change. Things will change because eventually, as things deteriorate, change automatically happens because people are, look, I couldn't afford any more than this shirt. This is the only shirt I can afford now. Just this shirt. So, things will change. Are you ready for the change? Or would you rather be thanking? Anyways, I don't want to take it any more than that. We talked about the wings of Venus and Mars, the gingerbread man, Jack, John, Janet, Joe, the sunscreen, the disciples, Bible codes, words in the Bible. They're all reading the words in the Bible. But if they ever taken the Bible, put it into numbers, not just the numbers in the Hebrew, not just the numbers in the Mayan, but put it into the basic numbers of the alphabet and use the code of 1, 2, 3, 4. Why the code of 1, 2, 3, 4? When you add it, it equals 10. When you multiply it, it equals to 24. The 1 doesn't count really in the multiplication. It just becomes part of. 4 numbers, when you multiply it, becomes the average of 6. But 3 numbers becomes the average of 8. And that is the gateway of 7. 6, 7, 8. Why is 6 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Now there's a whole story that can go along with that. We pray to a block. Block is number 43. We pray to the cube. Number 31. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to the 3 and 4 block. Did you know on block there's a lock on block? If you take away the B for a C, there's a clock block on lock. There's a clock and a block, and the clock is locked. Is there a block in the clock that it's locked? And there's never, if you're going to have B, you're going to have, if you're going to have it, never 2 without 3, because if you have 2, then you have the center of what is missing on the right. Here's the center, here's one side, and here's the other, so that's 3. Now you can have these 2, the center and the left, and you can have the center and the right, and you can have the center, the right, and the left. Now when I do this, I have all that's in the center I am and beyond. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.